I want to tell you a secret about President Trump. It's important because most investors still don't understand the high-stakes game that he's playing. It's a simple, effective strategy, and he uses it repeatedly to manipulate the stock market higher. Welcome back to Joe's Not Worried About It, where we turn market anxiety into golden investment opportunities. Manipulate might be a strong word, but the president has a clear, unchanging game. First, let's establish that President Trump wants the stock market to rise. We know this from his past statements that he views record prices as a validation of his job performance. He also likes to take credit for fixing failures, which allows him to brag about his accomplishments. Unfortunately, President Trump started his second term with the S&P 500 at 5,996, less than 1% from a record high. Also, the Federal Reserve was in the process of cutting interest rates. By his own standards, his predecessor had done a fine job. So, only a few weeks into his second term, President Trump began to break things. He talked about the benefits of tariffs and falsely framed the import taxes paid by American importers as free money coming from foreign countries. Investment strategists knew this was false and started selling heavily. By the time the president introduced his Liberation Day reciprocal tariff plans, the S&P was in utter freefall. Professional money managers panicked, and the benchmark touched a low of 4,835 on April 7th, which was a drop of 19% from Inauguration Day. The financial markets were, in his view, broken. That's when President Trump began to fix things. After telling investors it was a good time to buy stocks, literally, he tweeted it, he began to undo his tariffs. It started with delays. He announced a 90-day pause before the import taxes would be implemented. Then, he hinted there would be many exemptions. Investors cheered these developments, assuming the president had realized his tariff policies were hurting the economy and creating global uncertainty. While this wasn't entirely correct, stocks rallied briskly. President Trump is smart enough to understand what investors want. His detractors often miss this important point. They believe he doesn't understand that his tariffs are the cause of the market tumult that began in February. President Trump fully understands this. He does. So even as he falsely claims that tariffs are good, he's pushing out their implementation, especially with China, the most important trade rival. President Trump's game plan is to break things, wait for the fallout, then take credit for the reassembly. He understands that we have short attention spans and that a stock market marching relentlessly to new highs looks good. The details are forgotten. You can see this break and reassemble strategy in all facets of his presidency. Big initiatives have been repeatedly imposed, suspended, reimposed, and suspended again. And most recently, NVIDIA and AMD chips were banned in China, then unbanned. The most important takeaway for investors should be that President Trump understands that investors reward stability. Strategically withholding clarity is his leverage, and it's what high-stakes real estate professionals did throughout New York continuously. It's a high-stakes poker game, and he holds all the cards. Betting against him is a gamble you take at your own peril. And if you like daily insights like this, check out my Substack. It's free and delivered, freshly smoked from the Traeger sitting right behind me. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. If AI is the train, infrastructure is the track. Own the track, and every train pays you.